From Donald Trump's inner circle to a jail cell at Rikers Island. Just minutes ago, a New York judge sentenced Allen Weisselberg to 5 months behind bars for perjury. The former chief financial officer of the Trump Organization admitted to lying under oath in the civil fraud case against the former president. Weisselberg also helped exaggerate the value of Trump's New York penthouse in order to get better rates on loans and insurance policies. CNN's Kara Scannell is live outside the courthouse for us. Kara, what's happening?
So, Jim, Allen Weisselberg sentenced to 5 months in jail. This was part of a plea deal that he had made with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. The hearing took less than 5 minutes. Weisselberg walked in with a windbreaker, ready to report to prison. During the hearing, the judge asked him if he had anything he wanted to say. He said, "No, Your Honor." She then said she would sentence him to this agreed deal of 5 months in jail. He had pleaded guilty last month to 2 counts, felony counts of perjury for lying during the investigation by the New York Attorney General's office into the Trump Organization's finances. Specifically, he admitted to lying about his knowledge that the size of Trump's triplex apartment was false, and that about his role in his knowledge of making the value of that triplex apartment false in the financial statements. Now, soon after that, the judge sentenced Weisselberg to the 5 months. The security officers came up to him, handcuffed him behind his back, and he was led out of the courtroom where he will begin serving the sentence at Rikers Island. This is the second guilty plea by Allen Weisselberg, who previously pleaded guilty to 15 counts of tax fraud. He is a longtime confidant of former President Donald Trump, and as part of this deal, he will not be testifying against Donald Trump at the trial set to begin next week. He is a central figure in that trial. This is about the falsification of the documents to cover up the hush money payment made to Stormy Daniels. Weisselberg, the chief financial officer at the time, was involved in how those payments were made and the reimbursement of payments to Michael Cohen. But he will not be testifying in that case. Instead, he will be serving his 5 months at Rikers Island. Jim?
All right, Kara Scannell, thank you very much. Let's discuss now with CNN legal analyst Karen Friedman Agnifilo. She previously served as Chief Assistant District Attorney in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Karen, your reaction to Allen Weisselberg, I mean, yet again, somebody in Trump's orbit, somebody close to the former president, going to jail.
Yeah, he absolutely is decided that he is not going to turn on Trump, so much so that he lied under oath during the civil fraud trial in front of Judge Arthur Engoron recently. He was not, however, although he was charged with lying under oath during that trial, the Manhattan DA's office allowed him to plead guilty instead to lying in a deposition prior to that, because otherwise it would have triggered a violation of his parole from the last time that he pled guilty to protect Trump, which was on those tax fraud charges. So it was just very interesting to me that he's willing to do another 5 months like he already did, rather than turn on Trump.
I want to turn to the sentencing of Allen Weisselberg, who was the chief financial in charge of a lot of the operations over at the Trump Organization over decades. Take a look at this, though. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Weisselberg is among 13 former Trump associates now convicted of a crime. 13. Several of them have actually wound up in jail. Peter Navarro, only in recent days, is off to jail. How remarkable is all of this, that 13 of Trump's associates have been convicted and several of them wound up in jail?
Well, Wolf, it's certainly a pattern, and I think it's unlike anything we've seen in American history to have this many lawyers, associates, advisors of a president or former president be, in some cases, indicted, and others convicted, and as you say, in others imprisoned. And I think it's really underscores the stakes of the Trump trial, which starts next week, because I think the question a lot of people naturally are wondering is, well, all these people have been punished to varying extents for things they did with, for, and around Donald Trump. Well, how about Donald Trump himself? We will get at least the beginnings of an answer as we see that hush money trial play out in Manhattan starting on Monday.
First time in American history that a former president of the United States will face a criminal trial. It's going to be pretty amazing to watch all of this unfold starting Monday. We'll, of course, have special coverage of all of that. Elie, thank you very, very much. Elie Honig, giving us excellent analysis as usual.